Slab looks good. Happy with the slab. Slab looks really good.
And slab, you're referring to the concrete?
We're referring to the concrete.
Okay.
Couple settlement cracks, which are not uncommon. Other than that, it looks real good.
So the line item in his budget is garage, remove skylights, reframe. So we know essentially he's going to remove the skylights. He's going to reframe. Is he going to re-rock it? Is he going to put the drywall back up? Is he going to move the fixtures? These are all the things that could show up on change orders. Because he's going to say, well, I can't reframe it without moving these lights, and my line item doesn't call for moving these lights. So we would say at least give us more detail on this line item. What portion of this are you going to do? Are you going to have to move these lights? You're going to pull the electrical? You're going to reframe it and seal it? You're just going to reframe it? Are you going to just seal this off so there are no skylights? So although he has some definition, garage, remove skylights, reframe, it's still not, at least for us, to be able to quantify the work, it's still not enough. Because these could turn into additional money. So we're saying, okay, if the contractor now wants to get paid for pulling the light fixtures down, for storing them, getting an electrician in here, that's more money, more time. So now you have a black substance on the...
get some sort of organic growth.
Organic growth, that we can't use a four-letter word that starts with an M and ends with a D, because we can't test it. And to be able to use the four-letter word, you have to be able to test it. So it's just an organic growth that...
So in the report that you submit to us, it will say organic growth?
Yes.
When what you really mean is it could potentially be mold.
It's mold. Well, I
can't
say that. It came out.
It's an organic substance.
With the characteristics of mold.
Yeah.
Definitely that'll be something that the contractor is going to want to address, and it may acquire additional fees and time to remove and take the removal to special locations.
Right.
Well, and I can tell you this, that as you guys do more inspections for us, especially in the states of like Colorado and Washington, you're going to start finding a lot more organic things growing in garages.
Sure.
Yeah. So be aware of that.
So the porch roof looks pretty good.
Start clockwise?
Yep. One of the things we do when we do the baselines is that we'll start and we'll come in a clockwise direction. So as the photos are sent out, and everybody knows pretty much which room is which when we go in.
Let me start with the whites because of this room, just with these openings here.
This room we probably refer to as a study or a library or something off the main living room or dining room.
And this, on the budget line, is what type of roof? Is it listed or?
The ceiling?
Ceiling?
No.
I heard ductwork mentioned in the going up. Seeing something like that, definitely would recommend the ductwork being cleaned.
Right. Or strengthened, the grate being strengthened. So this is just procedural what we'll do so that we know that we're actually into a bedroom that we can all agree on. So we'll photograph what we're calling bedroom 1. So we're calling this essentially bedroom 1 and bath 1. So that when the photos are going back and forth between us and Lee's organization or the owner, everybody knows, same page, what room we're talking about.
As far as the line items, is there, for what the intentions of this room are, have those been addressed in the contractor's bid?
He does have something that's called finished back porch, level floor, 3/4 bath, enclosed laundry and pantry. Now my assumption is that he's coming off of here, off of this bedroom, because master bed and bath remodel, move walls, plumbing, remove slider. So if we're all agreed that this is the master, he's going to do a bed and bath remodel, of which we don't know the scope. He's going to move walls, we don't know which ones. He's going to do plumbing, we don't know what depth of plumbing, and he's going to remove the slider. I'm guessing that's the slider he's going to remove. But what's he going to do? Is he going to put a window in? So really it goes back to the details. And so the answer to the question is he does in fact address remodeling what we're assuming is going to be the master bedroom.
And what does he have as a price on that?
He has $10,000.
Okay, so $10,000. So investors at home, we don't know what walls are coming out. We don't know what's going on with the sliding door here. So when you come and say, hey, my contractor's asking for $5,000, which is 50% of the line item,
right.
We don't know what 50% is because we don't even know what you're anticipating or planning to do here. So again, details. If you guys can get us drawings, schematics, pictures of what you intend to do, plans would be fantastic if you got them. And I think that we can agree if he's going to be pulling out walls, remodeling,
the city's going to be aware of it.
There's going to need to be some planning, some engineering.
Right.
It's a lot more. This is not your weekend warrior handyman project. This is pretty major construction. So make sure that you guys get us that level of detail so we know what your plans are.
We're very conservative and we hold the money back. And when we hold the money back and the contractor is expecting a certain amount of money, they get confused because we've not had enough detail to know what it is that they're trying to do. So we'll just make assumptions, and the assumptions are always we're gonna better protect our investor, our owner, and tell the contractor that we can't give him that much money because it's not been clear. We've not been told what it is he's going to do.
So yeah, okay, we're in the kitchen here.
Okay, so it's remodel kitchen, cabs, bar top, granite tops, vented hood, finished ceiling, pre-hung door, wiring, lighting, $6,000 cab allowance, and the entire gift is $16,500 for all of the work in here. And he said the allowance for $6,000 is a $6,000 cab allowance. Allowance means let's put the money in the budget, and we'll have up to $6,000 to spend, but let's put it in the budget so that we know that we have money for the cabinetry. Okay. Quantifying the rest of it, where's he going to put his granite countertops? He's going to do bar top, granite tops. So we're going to put granite tops on every counter. On partial counters, is there going to be a counter there? Again, we just don't have enough detail. He's going to lower the ceiling, I'm guessing.
This is a complete redone here, this portion, the kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
this entire room gets done. So he's going to finish the ceiling, I imagine drop it. The pre-hung door and the wiring and the lighting. So the question is whether or not that's the lighting where he's going to just come off of that. And again, this could have been done years ago, and we still don't know whether or not we're going to have 3 fixtures because there's 3 here now. Actually, there's a safety concern about the fact that the wiring's exposed. It's not in boxes and circuits.
But he has it listed as a complete tear out.
Right. Right.
If he has it listed, I mean, I'm sure you could detail it more specific, but I wouldn't bring it up in the baseline,
in the baseline,
inspection.
no.
Yeah.
Right. So he's going to finish ceiling. He's going to finish with T-bars. He's going to do it with. So those are the kind of questions that again, but it's the owner's involvement because the owner's been involved in the design. So the owner and the contractor are going to know, and if some of that information can come to us somehow in drawings or in sketches or whatever it might be, it's going to be easier for us on the inspections, on the progress inspections as well.
Okay.
Because the more of that information we have, it's going to be easier for us to say yes, they're at that level of completion.
So is 16.5 sufficient for the level of work that this kitchen needs?
Taking this, so $6,000 for the cabinetry is a $10,000 rehab. It'll be close. Because essentially the plumbing's going to get done. It's going to get replumbed, recabinets.
One thing I like about the kitchen, it's already got GFCIs here.
Right.
Okay. Now I understand in the line item budget that they're doing something with this back.
Okay.
I think they're calling it the back porch area.
He has it as.
This was an add-on.
Finished back porch, level floor, 3/4 bath.
He's going to make this a bath.
Enclosed laundry, pantry. So it's a $12,500 line item. So again, finished back porch. We're going to rock it. We're going to push it out. We're going to close the walls. We're going to get rid of the windows. How are we going to finish it? The level of the floor. I'm guessing it's that corner over there. So he's going to have to jack the floor. Level floor, 3/4 bath. Is he adding a 3/4 bath? Is he extending the bathroom that's right there? Is he going to add a 3/4 bath?
So again, it comes down to detail.
Yeah, and just not enough. So we can't even quantify. It's a $12,000 line item. And again, we could probably go demo if he comes in and demos it. We could quantify that and say he's demoed. But relative to, where are you going to put the 3/4 bath? Is it going to have a sink? Is it going to have a shower? We don't know.
Okay.
But the drawings would help.
A lot of missing info here.
Right.
So guys at home, make sure that you get us those drawings so that we can get them over to Steve and the inspectors that are going out here. Because if they had that detail when they were coming through the property, it'd be a lot easier to do a baseline.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And you might be thinking, well, you guys knew you were filming. Why didn't you get all that stuff coming in? I told you guys at the beginning we wanted this to be as true and as real as it is. And this is the reality, that you guys don't get us enough information, and therefore we're left guessing,
Right.
which is not good for you, it's not good for us, it's not good for the contractor, and it puts everybody in a challenging situation. So be transparent. Tell us what you're going to do, and then provide us with the documentation and the proof that says you're going to do it.
Many times we found that the contractors, as a result of the recession years ago, lost credit lines. So they just don't have the cash flow that they would love to have to be able to go out and put deposits on all of this stuff. So what we found is that they'll preload a job. So they'll come out and say, I need $10,000 to go buy materials. Well, we're $10,000 out front with no work done.
Right.
So the bottom line is that on this one, all we can quantify right now is demo.
Yeah.
I don't have the ability for Shay or myself or any inspector to come in and quantify it, saying this is, the plumbing is here, it's there, without the detail. And that's the problem. And the big part is the contractor gets upset. So as long as he's providing you more detail, the better it is for everybody.
Gotcha.
So I have demo dining and family room partition walls, add support beams, so we know we're going to have to get permitted. We're going to have to have a structural engineer involved in that.
Well, there's someone, right?
Right. At least I would bring an engineer in. So demo dining and family room partition walls. So these, I'm guessing, are the ones he's talking about. So let's go upstairs.
Now, these stairs look pretty steep. I mean, is there
They're
any
non-standard stuff.
They're not, but essentially it's almost as though, as a result of it being 114
Yeah,
years
they're
old.
original, but wouldn't meet today's standards.
No.
Okay, so will the investor need to tear them out, or are they okay as they are?
I think they're
I don't think-
grandfathered in.
Yeah, I
If
think
they
the
don't-
city will.
If they don't do a complete construction, I don't think they'll be acceptable.
So if it's a cosmetic remodel, I think they're okay. If they're going to add another floor or something like that, they would make them pull them out and I think redo them.
Okay.
But again, just check with the city.
Gotcha.
Okay. Because it's a closet. And Lee, I think on the popcorn material in the ceiling is not an issue until you actually disturb it.
Yeah.
And in disturbing it, in coming through the ceiling with the HVAC system, it's essentially it'd be disturbing it. But I'm not sure. The EPA is going to know.
I don't know how technical you want to be, but if they were going to remove all of it, I think is where you'd have to have the hazmat
Right.
come in. But I
Right.
think for just putting in duct systems, if
Yeah,
they
no, it's fine.
seal it and not let any of the fibers float around, I think they'll be fine.
What do you see in there, Shay?
So when they did do the roof, they redecked the whole thing,
Oh,
which
they
is
did?
nice.
Okay.
From my visual point here, it's all new decking.
So it's all new nails?
Well, decking. And I'm sure that to nail it down, they use new nails.
Yeah. It's always fun when they drive all the way through.
But that's a good thing. Insulation, low amount of insulation. So that'd be something, I don't know if in the budget line to add, updating or improving the insulation.
Got to know that we would mention that in the baseline.
Now, what's going on here?
It's supposed to be bring up a sub panel. Looks like it used to be an old. They have old lines coming in, and now they just converted it into a sub panel with some breakers. Those things that, if there's any electrician work coming in, that I'd have the electrician verify it. I don't see anything wrong with it as long as it's able to stay closed so kids can't get into it.
He's going to have an electrician in for all the move downstairs, all
Yeah.
the remodel.
I don't see anything to call out on it,
Okay.
besides being verified. What's the line item in here? Exhaust fan. Does this look good?
This one is master bed and bathroom. No, that's downstairs. Paint interior. Possible blown insulation needed. That's throughout the house, I'm imagining. I have nothing for the. Oh no, actually, upstairs bath remodel, $9,000.
Does it say what they're going to do for $9,000?
No, absolutely not. Just upstairs bath remodel, $9,500.
Without knowing, again, what the specifics are, it's hard to say if 9,000 would do it or not.
Right.
So again, this being the baseline, the only way we're going to know if work's been done is if there's demo.
Right.
Yep.
And the contract, the baseline report is going to address this, and it's going to say it'll be a bullet point. Please provide more detail, so that when we come back in for the progress inspections, we'll know exactly. It's going to be a new sink, a new vanity. It's going to be new lighting. It's going to be new mirrors. It's going to be a new tub, new shower, new floor, new fixtures. But it'll be much more detailed, and that'll just be in the report that verify the depth of line items within the budget, so that we have more clarity.
Okay.
So it's not gray.
Okay. So you'll notice, guys, that we called this bedroom number 4, but as you can see, there's no closet. So the requirement for a bedroom is that you've got a closet. So we need to add to the budget framing in corner of this room so that we have the closet, and we can call it a bedroom. Which you're definitely going to want to do,
right,
because a bedroom is going to get you a higher appraised value than just an open floor space. Or a rec room is what this would end up being without a closet. So better to frame in the closet and get the extra money out of the bedroom.
But again, that work is not included in the budget. So it's another item that essentially is going to be more dollars on the project.
And keep in mind too, guys, at home, for anything that's not in the budget that has to be an addition, if we've already funded the loan, we know exactly how much you have to complete all of this work. So the more things that you start adding on after the fact, that's going to have to start coming out of your pocket. So if you are a relatively new investor, you're dealing with a small sum of your own capital, you've got to make sure that you come through with a fine-tooth comb before we close on the loan, and we get you the amount of money you need to get this done right. So just be aware of that.
As an owner, I would say it says widen staircase if possible. That I'm going to say that's in your number. That's 4,500. Widen that staircase,
Okay.
and it's possible. So he's going to say, well, no, that's a separate change order. That's going to be a change order. So this is where you kind of get into the problem with, I want it widened. The county says widen it. Your budget says widen stairs or staircase if possible. It doesn't give me a number. It's in that $4,500 number that does all of this work as well.
Okay.
So here we are again. It's gray, and he's going to say, well, you pay because you're the owner.
And it's gray, you pay.
Right.
Right. Look at that wall.
You know, that's one of the greatest things about the older houses was the footings they put down.
Right. Yeah. The width
This
of
is
them.
the footing. It's probably about 3.5 feet wide.
Right.
Then they put the foundation, which is rock and mortar, down.
Right. On top of that.
Anything else?
No, I think that's a pretty comprehensive look at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we,
I mean, there's many items that we found that we just more detail.
I probably went a little more deeper than the baseline inspection as far as the inspection part, but
Okay.
we got a pretty good idea of the
Well,
house.
part of it is just having the expertise of these guys and their backgrounds. Brings a lot more added value to these sites, because a lot of times it's just guys that understand construction. They know what an inspector is going to look for on the sale.
Yeah.
So it's that way we can address it at the same time.
Now, again, for you guys at home, utilize these guys. They're going through 20, 30 houses a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, but they see this kind of stuff all day, every day. And though they can't advise you, they can't give you, legal advice or financial advice or even structural advice, they really know what they're doing. So look at those baseline reports as you get them. We will be providing them to you from Kogo Capital. And let's reassess. Do you have enough in your line items to get all the work done that you need? And have we covered all of our bases? And from what I've gleaned from our time together here, gentlemen, is detail is tremendously important,
absolutely, yeah.
and you can't provide too much detail. Is really what I'm hearing.
And you can't assume that the contractor is just going to do the right thing without it being in black and white, because really it has to go in the document. It has to be, this is what I'm going to do in this house. These are the things that I'm going to do.
Okay.
And it just has to be done.
So now manage our viewers' expectation, because at this point you've come out, you've taken all the photos. How long now, Shay, is it going to take you to get back to your office, get these photos loaded up, and get them to us at Kogo Capital? Because ultimately what our viewers are at home want to be able to tell their contractor is, when can we issue that first draw check?
Sure.
What's the next steps?
I usually go home, get them uploaded the day of the inspection, go through them, and I get it lined up to send to CIS. And once that happens, then
right.
About, I'd say another day or two. I don't know if you have a timeline.
Usually 24 to 48 hours from the time we receive the field information until the time we can generate the report. And in the report, we'll take their observations, and we'll also go through all of the photos that have been brought to us. It may be 200, and see if there's other things that may have been missed, and we'll add to the report. One of the things that we usually add, and I think it's in this area, but ultimately, the cities are now requiring that the sewer laterals be certified between the property line and the house, and that means cambered. That means pull a camera through it, so that because what the city is saying is, we don't want to be responsible if you have a sewer lateral break on your side. So let us know in the real estate transaction that has in fact been done. So we'll usually put that in the report as a consideration of them going to the agency, finding out if in fact that's one of the requirements.
Okay.
So they get the report with all our observations. We'll forward it to you guys. We'll copy the investor on it, and then it's a matter of them sitting down with the contractor and working out the observations that we've made.
Okay.
And
now my understanding is that this is about an $80,000 remodel.
Yeah.
So from the time now of us getting the report from you guys, when should we schedule the next inspection for the investor?
Probably it depends, and a lot of times one of the things that we suggest that the investors get is a schedule from the contractor.
Okay.
Because it forces the contractor to sit down, put his thinking cap on, and know when the drywall is going to show up, know when the painting is going to get done, so he can schedule his subs, and that's going to tell him when he's going to need to draw down the money. So it could be as soon as a month, it could be as soon as 2 weeks based on his schedule. If he's going to be working every day on site, it could be as soon as we come back out within 2 weeks, or at least 4 weeks, certainly. Commonly, it's done every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because the contractor, again, goes back to the fact that he doesn't have the cash flow to afford it. He's going to be ordering a lot of materials. It's going to go on his account if he has an account. Otherwise, it's going to come out of pocket, or he's going to come to the investor and say, I need some advance money. And unfortunately, what will happen is that with the advance money, you're out of pocket, and you've not been given essentially the asset to replace the funds that you've given him.
Okay. All right, so I think that's what I'm hearing, guys, is you want to make sure that you try to keep your draws to 2-3 weeks max. We want to keep these projects online, on target. And as you can see, it's still beautiful outside. And where we are at in the Pacific Northwest here, it snows. So we want to get this thing fixed up, cleaned up, and get it ready for market, preferably before the sun goes away and the clouds come in and the snow starts falling. We want to get this fixed up and sold. So it's now your responsibility to hold your contractor accountable and get them to move through this thing as fast and as quickly as you possibly can. Now, what's the lag time for you, Steve? How much time do they need to anticipate from the time their contractor asks for a draw, they submit the request to us, we then reach out to you guys at CIS? How long before we can get Shay back out here to do another inspection?
I'd probably say within 36 to 48 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Once it's submitted and it's a complete submittal, and the investors will learn what the complete submittal is. And essentially it's the contractor submitting with his draw request the necessary invoices and the necessary waivers, or the lien waivers, for it to be submitted to Kogo, and then Kogo forwarding it to us. Once we have it, as soon as it comes into our office, Shay's notified. So he's probably within 24 hours,
okay.
24 to 36.
So 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah, give two days definitely for
right.
scheduling and making sure that know where the location is.
So the sooner we find out, the quicker we can let the inspector know. And this is anywhere in the country. This is Atlanta, this is Chicago, this is Spokane, this is Santa Rosa, California, anywhere. As long as we have the heads up on that it's coming, we can have the inspector get ready, put it in a schedule, because these guys have schedules that we try to fit these into.
Yeah.
And it's really a matter of us trying to have these guys in the progress inspection. We respect the contractor schedule, but at the same time, they might get it in their lunch hour. They might come in on their after work one day. So the lock boxes are
The key
for access.
Log box is huge.
So that everybody has access whenever they can get there. Okay. And that might be the suppliers, might be the inspectors.
Could be an evening inspection, could be
Right.
real early,
All right.
you know, while we have the daylight.
We try to get them as much money as quickly as possible, but at the same time, we've found it our role at CIS to really protect each and every dollar that goes out our investor's door. And that's really what our role is.
Okay. So for you guys at home, again, it's imperative that you manage your contractors accordingly. What you don't want to have happen is your contractor waiting around for the inspection to come on site, hasn't been paid, so now he goes out and he gets another project and he puts that now into his book of business. Now your project suddenly becomes one of 2 or 3 or 4 or more,
Right.
and that's when you really see legs in your contractor getting out here and getting work done. So we want your contractor to focus on this project, and the way to make sure that you maintain their attention is to keep paying them steadily. You have our commitment at Kogo that we will move as quickly as you do, sometimes faster. And as long as you guys keep us informed as to when the next draw request is coming down and the work's been completed, we'll get that over to Steve at CIS and make sure that he gets his crew out here. Right. So I just want to say, Steve, thank you for being here. It was a pleasure having you out here with us.
Yeah,
I know you're a very busy man, so thank you for your time.
Sure.
And Shay, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
And from what I understand, we'll be seeing you out here in another 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll monitor the progress from there.
We'll get another one in.
So for you at home, get to work. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Lee.
I've got a lot of work to do. I'll see you guys later. Take care.